I'm going to start recording. Anyway, so tonight, she started singing. They usually just sing 2 songs on Wednesday night, sort of to open things up. And the first one, it's a song that she and I usually sing with our worship team. And she didn't come in. Like at the very first little prelude or whatever, the intro played, and she didn't start. And I was like, that's where it starts. Oh, well, So I start singing because I'm thinking she can't hear it. She doesn't know what something's wrong. And I look at her. I'm all the way at the back, and I look at her, and she's kind of like, she has a funny look on her face. She gets started. She starts in like on the second sentence, and she's at the right point in there, but she sings about 2 sentences, and she looks at me at the back, and she does like one of these numbers. Like, come up here. I was like, okay. And I told Jetty, I said, my feet immediately answered her request. Like, immediately. I still had I have this like, almost like a trench coat type coat that I was wearing. I hadn't taken it off yet. I had barely sat down. And I just remember, like, the next thing I said, I kind of floated to the front. And Jetty started laughing because I said floated. I said, well, it was like my brain, my legs answered her. And I was already up there because I saw her command me, like, come up here. And as soon as I got up there, she handed me the microphone, and she walked off, and she sits down on the front row and begins to heave. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I haven't talked to her in a couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on in her life. And all I can think is, and now I'm supposed to finish this song. But as soon as I started, I felt the presence of God just be like, whoom. And I was like, okay, you're here. That's what you're here for right now. You're supposed to sing. You're supposed to praise. And then that presence hasn't left me. It's just been, I've very, very much felt it. I don't know why I decided to share that with you guys, but anyway, it was an interesting experience. I would actually say it was a neat experience. I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, I want to talk to you guys about a few things tonight. A couple of things that we have going on. If this is December, what are we on, the 2nd? 3rd, 2nd. Okay, anyway. First part of December. Yeah. My customer service days are all mixed up, if you know what I'm talking about. I've been on the phone for several days in December. I don't know about y'all, but anyway. Are we on the 8th or 9th yet? It's what it feels like. I'm just joking, sort of. Anyway, okay. I have this this concept, and it was so weird. We went and had our little local luncheon today, and I leaned over to Katie Reeder's stinker daughter. She has 2 daughters. She's got one that's always like, hi, sweet, sweet, and then she's got a stinker one. I leaned over to Sophie. I said, or I leaned past Sophie. I was like, does she have an elf on the shelf? Do y'all do that? And we started a conversation, and we realized that she and I were sharing a similar idea. And I was like, that's so weird. That's one of the things I was going to talk about. So we're doing this 12 days of Christmas thing. I know you guys are maybe not following me here yet at this point, but you're about to follow me. The 12 days of Christmas, posting something about Plexus every day, and I'm giving you a topic. Well, for those of you who are whimsical and creative, and are willing to join us on this venture. I don't know how many little kids we have listening, but anyway, you can buy some of those similar at Hobby Lobby 40% off if you don't already have one. And if you want to join in on this venture that I'm going to be doing, contest, I guess you might say. The ones at Hobby Lobby, the picture I posted earlier today on the butterfly page, is the ones they have at Hobby Lobby, and they're really cute. And lots of times their Christmas stuff may be 50% off this week. I'm not certain. It usually is this time of year. If not, you can use a 40% off coupon, like $5-6, something like that. Anyway, here's my idea. If you want somebody to be really engaged in what you're doing, have a woodland creature doing something really weird on your Facebook page every day with one of your Plexus products. Now, I know this because over the last couple of years, I've seen everything from holding a bottle of BioCleanse and pooping chocolate chips. I've seen, we did one year like that. I think that we had the elf wearing a sort of like a fatter costume and then put it in a skinnier costume. And so, anyway, if you will join in on this, you will get a lot of engagement. And I'm going to give on the 12 days of Christmas thing, I'm still going to give serious every day, like post about this today, post about this today. If you're doing it elf on the shelf style or Christmas elf style in any shape, form, or fashion, and taking pictures and getting people to engage in your post that way, you can choose to follow that day's particular assignment or not. Because if I'm telling you to talk about nerve health, you may be like, the elf doesn't want to talk about that today. You know what I'm saying? And plus, sometimes elves think better in the evening, so you might have an elf that says, tonight, I'm going to pre-plan what tomorrow is going to be wearing, if that makes sense. So you may not go along with the assignment that I have. So now, if you're someone that's against doing that at all, that's totally fine with me. But it is just a cute concept. I think it'll be a really cute way to get people really engaged on your, wait a minute. I see two butterflies that don't belong together. Okay, everybody look down to Erin's iPad. That one with the hat on is Erin. She's an Okie now. That one with her is Jennifer Cole. They don't even belong together at all, except for that they're butterflies. I just wanted to point this out first and foremost. They're butterflies. They are guilty by association in that way. But tonight they are, where are you exactly? Tell us. Wait, before you say it, let me say it first. Pennsylvania, without an L. Where are you?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, what? You added an L that's never been there before.
She found her L in Oklahoma.
She found her L when she was in Oklahoma, Pennsylvania.
Because Missy yells at me all the time. She's like, you don't say it like that. And I'm like, yes, I do. I say Pennsylvania. She goes,
Pennsylvania.
Never heard you say it like that. Okay.
Yeah. Look at my old apartment with ugly wallpaper, see?
I like your wallpaper. I want you guys at the end of our call this evening, I want you to tell us why it is that the two's a user together. Okay, you can tell us a little bit about that. So be preparing your speech.
10-4.
Pensa. Okay. Anyway, so I'm liking this idea of having a Christmas woodland character. And it wouldn't have to be a particular, if you're against going with popular, if you're like, I'm anti-Barbie and anti-Elf on the whatever, you could be like, I found a reindeer that I like and I'm going to have him, doing something fun. So anyway, whatever. I think it would be really fun and you would get a lot of engagement if anybody wants to join in. The 12 days of Christmas thing, if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, I posted on the butterfly page that every day we're giving away cash. We're going to do a drawing for everyone that posts every single day of December about Plexus. And I'm giving you topics every day to kind of get you started. So if you don't know what's going on, you need to check the butterfly page and it's going to be in that strand of things. And now on to, for those of you who joined us last week, I promised that I was going to teach you a little bit about positive affirmations. Hang on a minute. I'm going to answer questions about what we've covered so far. Okay. Yeah. Yes. You can post that in your group page. Yeah. Anybody who has their own team page, you can post that. You're talking about the elf on shelf thing. Is that what you're saying? You can just nod for me. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, anybody's welcome to join in on that. I think it'd be really funny if a lot of Plexus people were doing that. And Katie and I were sharing that idea together today, so I'm not going to put a copyright on it or something. I think I might get in trouble if I tried. They'd be like, excuse me, you created Elf on the Shelf? Okay, anyway, moving on. I've been really discussing with you guys about positive affirmations, how you talk to yourself, the things that you let play over and over in your head, and the wicked lies we tell ourselves. And it has been brought to my attention because I've noticed that some people easily grab onto positive affirmations and they immediately begin working for them. And then there's seems to be another category of people that it's like they want that to work for them. And for some reason, it's like struggle time. They immediately go into, this doesn't work for me. I don't think this is going to work for me. And I get that. And so I'm going to do my best to keep this a very secular conversation that I'm about to have with you. However, it's going to branch off into something that might be a little bit not secular. But I have found that regarding almost anything that you do in regards to your business, in regards to your prayer life, your spiritual life, in regards to dreams, all of this, that if you've ever gone to church, have you ever noticed how church opens up in worship? Almost always. You start church out with worship, and if you were to ask someone, why do they do that? Probably almost anybody in the room, it wouldn't take anybody who's very educated in it. Probably anybody in the room could say, well, because of how the feeling, that's maybe how they described it. The feeling, you can just feel the atmosphere change. Well, I feel like positive affirmations are sort of the same thing. I feel like if you usher in the atmosphere, okay, of belief and faith and creativity and curiosity and all these things that we had as children, that the positive affirmations, actually, it's sort of like you're more willing to believe yourself when you say, I'm so excited. I'm constantly attracting awesome new people to my team. If you're walking around in a funk and you barely even brushed your teeth that day, it's harder to believe, if that makes sense. But if you can usher in that atmosphere. And so what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you a video. And what I want you to do is I don't want you to overthink the video, because I watched the video and it immediately caused a reaction in me. I showed the video to a group of people at our Thanksgiving. At Thanksgiving, I noticed in the process of showing it to them that some people had the same reaction as me. They were immediately touched by the video. And then I had other people who were trying to figure out, well, what's going on here? I don't understand. What's going on here? And can somebody, and looking around like, okay, well, if you get caught up in that, you're going to miss the blessing of this video. So trust in the fact that you will eventually figure out what's going on here, and instead let yourself move into the place that I want this video to take you. It's probably not what you're thinking. I'm going to shut up and just show it to you. Okay. Hang on a second here. Now, I want you to hold on to what the feeling that you have in your heart at the very end of this video. I want you to pay very close attention to it. Like literally close your eyes and be like, okay, yes, I know this feeling. I've had this feeling before. And I want you to recognize it inside your head. Okay, so here we go. I got to share my screen with you. This is about a 15-minute video, so be patient with me. It's going to be totally worth your time. Well, give me a second. Yeah.
Over here, guys. There's another one over here. God, oh God, look in here. Hey, what is that? There's two more. There's another. Lucky. What's in here? I don't know. Ooh.
I wonder where the fairies are.
Yeah.
They just had teeth.
Well, there looks to be a small gnome community moving into Overland Park. Take a look at these tiny gnome homes. How they're being built is a mystery. It's being called Firefly Forest.
The city doesn't know who's building them, but they've actually found 2 along Tomahawk Creek Trail.
We move all the time. We basically move once a year because my dad's job. I've moved 13 times in my 15 years of life. I hope we can stay in Kansas. I'm sick of moving.
I love you. When we first got married, I thought we'd buy a house and live in it forever. I never imagined having to pick up and move every year. This move is a lot different. We barely unpacked, and my husband is moving out.
This has been a really hard time for us. I worry most about Tyler, because he's just got like the sweetest heart, and I'm not quite sure how he's handling it.
I didn't really like Kansas at first, but then we discovered the forest. I can't feel sad here.
That's pretty cool, huh?
You like that?
Yeah.
Evie is constantly seeking out the houses. When she does see a door, she just runs. I've been on a journey that I never thought I'd be on. I have a daughter that's 7, and then I have a daughter that's forever 3, named Allie, and she died last June from brain cancer. Allie always loved being outside. She had this spirit that you could not contain. I mean, she loved nature. And I think it was probably around the age of 2 that she started really just loving owls. She just thought they were so cute. She had books about owls, and she was a terrible sleeper. So then we would just kind of be like, oh, it's little owl, you know, because she's up. She's a night owl. It was a fitting nickname. We would go on the trail kind of as a distraction at times when grief became too overwhelming. We're like, we need to get outside, we need to get fresh air. It just felt magical. We had come upon the house where you could leave a note for the fairy. I wrote a note in memory of Allie, and it was really almost like a message in a bottle. We have to pick up the pieces and rebuild, and it's very hard. Very.
It's so cute. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smiley.
I started the blog because I had been taking photographs and I wanted to share the wonder of the forest. I love the little, just the hints that there is activity. You know, the one house, I think it's 12 Hollow Tree Lane, that goes from moving boxes, that the detail of like acorn movers on them. And then all of a sudden those are gone and it's redecorated. Living in suburbia can be extremely isolating, but all of a sudden, when there's little additions in the forest that make people curious, then you have a real community. Look.
A fairy house.
Yeah.
Mom, look.
What's it say?
Wow.
He's got a fairy house, huh?
Who would do this?
That's right.
It's the most beautiful act of compassion that a stranger would know the pain and think, I should do something to honor that short life.
I was notified by one of my crew that there were some gnome houses out along the bike trail. My director asked me to remove one of these gnome houses in the hope that it would elicit a response from the creator. And so we picked it up and brought it back to park headquarters.
Whoever's putting these out there, what's the ultimate plan? Are they going to keep adding them? Are they going to maintain them? Are they going to fall apart? Are they going to be stolen? Some of those are in the floodplain. They're going to wash away. That's my responsibility to make sure we approve what goes into our parks.
Regulars to the trail were delighted with the appearance of 12 Hollow Tree Lane, but the delight was followed within a day with stunned disbelief at its disappearance. Fear was quelled a bit by the appearance of a WEMA tent.
Everybody has an opinion about how this forest has come alive.
It might be some very, very wonderful grandparents.
Nobody really knows for sure. It's just kind of rumors and whispers.
I'm wondering who is doing it.
I like it being a mystery.
Not me.
I'm the least fairy type person you'd ever meet, and I think it would be cool to do it. So you never know. It could be anybody.
In the beginning, we didn't do this for other people. We did it for us. All right, Ty, what do you think? I would love for them to not experience the pain of divorce and to stay in that childish space for a little bit longer.
Look at that.
Once we saw the happiness that it brought to other people, we were hooked. It really is amazing to watch people smile. And to witness that, to be a part of it, why wouldn't you want to create more? Okay, guys, we have to move really fast. Are you ready? Set, go. Okay, Ty, you want to step up in front of us and light the way? We're going to lift it up and we're going to just set it on there. You need to go on further. Yep. Ty, come be on lookout.
So up ahead here is the tree where I left the note.
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, how
For the
nice.
fairy.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, and her name.
I know.
And what a wonderful place for you and Kyle and Evie to come to.
Oh, I know. Isn't it
Oh, it's so healing. Oh.
It was in the wintertime when I first got the note about the little owl. I collect them very quickly so that nobody sees me, and then I stuff them in my pocket or I put them in my bag. And I remember going through all of the notes, and they're very sweet. I love you. I believe in fairies, things like that. And then I came to that one, and it just halted me. And I cried, and, I just thought, oh my gosh, somebody's lost their child. Immediately, my thought was, well, of course we can do it for her. It just seemed natural. It seemed like the right thing to do, and I could do it, so I did.
What do you think she'd say if she saw this?
She said, Grandma, please, will you take me to see the little owl house?
Sounds like her.
And what do you think I'd say?
Yes.
I'm really, really sorry. I have done everything that I can think to do to keep us here in Kansas. I know you both really want to stay, but we are going to need to move to Utah. I really need to finish school, and we need a little bit of family support.
I know life isn't fair, but this really just isn't fair. We just got here, and me and Ty are really starting to make some friends, and don't want to leave it. I'm kind of mad at Dad right now. I don't want to start over again.
What does this mean for the houses?
The city is making us take them down.
So we're going to throw all this stuff away?
No, but we're just putting it in the bag to get it out of here. I'm definitely moving on to a new place in my life. It's the turning of a page, beginning of a new story. We're not going to touch that one.
Yeah. At least someone gets to stay.
Good job.
I dub thee, no longer Firefly Forest.
I wonder if we're quiet, if we can listen for the owls.
Did you hear that?
As the watcher, I try just to share the anonymous work of the creators of this wonderful project with the world. This beautiful little book that appeared in the forest this past week is not just a decoration or prop. It is an actual book containing a beautiful original poem that moved me to tears. In the midst of a busy city lives a small forest that's charming and pretty. There's more to this forest than some choose to see. This magical place can set your heart free.
Those who feel lost, forgotten, or down will find in this forest there is love all around.
You'll not be forgotten, is what they'll say. We love you. We'll lift you. You'll find your way.
You're stronger than you think you are.
You're not alone.
We'll never be far.
What you need is what you'll find among the ferns and fireflies. Once you have felt of their kindness and grace, take it with you when you leave this place.
Share of yourself and let them all see the power of kindness, just as the fireflies have done for me.
Okay. So I want you to pay really close attention, just like I prompted you before, to what you feel. If you don't feel anything, you need to check for a pulse. I want you to pay attention to whatever that feeling is. Some people would say, "Oh, I know that feeling. That's gratitude," or maybe they would say that's compassion, or maybe they would say. Some people would say that it's love, but then some people don't really like the word. Some people, when you use the word love, maybe they never felt loved. And so love is not a word that brings positive emotion to them because maybe it means brokenness or brokenheartedness. But whatever that feeling is that you feel right now, I want to give you some steps without having to watch a 15-minute video. To get you in that place. We sort of did it last week. We're basically going to go through the same steps again this week. And if you feel like, you may very well feel like, that's what I should say. You may very well feel like, Lori, I don't get it. I don't know why we're doing this. Let me talk to you about it strictly from a business perspective. And let me say this. If you will work on your positive affirmations, begin to rewrite the things that you tell yourselves or the things that you've allowed people to speak over you in your life about you maybe not being good enough, not being worthy, not being whatever, or maybe you actually you feel like maybe you've earned those titles. Maybe you've been awful in your past and you can't quit thinking on those things. And you think when you begin to write out a positive affirmation to erase the old ones, the old way you have felt about yourself or things that you have believed about yourself, it's hard for you to get in that place because you can't get to the place where you can erase the old and get into the good. There's nothing that I can think of that's better for your business than for you to overcome yourself. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm talking about your soul self, like everything that the world has taught you about yourself. That's not true. Or even if you feel that it is true, and like I said, you feel like you've earned the bad things. If you can get yourself in a space and lift up positive affirmations about yourself, lift up prayers about yourself. If those prayers feel empty to you, you need to do this step first. Even if those prayers don't feel empty to you, this step first is what I feel is a very important step to get you in that space to where you can receive what it is God's trying to pour out on you, okay? So I'm going to have you close your eyes with me again, like we did last week. If you didn't watch last week, you'll be totally surprised. This is only going to take 3 minutes here, so Don't get too antsy. But I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to put your finger on your chest, right in the middle of your chest, on your heart. And I want you to focus your attention there. This is sort of a mind game to get you out of your mind and into your heart, okay? Focus the attention in the area of your heart, and I want you to imagine that your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest. Do that for a few seconds. Breathe a little bit slower and deeper than usual, maybe 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. Now, while your focus is in your heart, I want you to recall a memory that makes you feel either grateful, compassionate, or loving, if love is a good word to you. And just focus on that for a few seconds. Now, while you're in that space, still focusing on your heart, I want you to lift up a positive affirmation about yourself, what's important in your life. And I want you to declare that over yourself right now. Now think of another thing to declare over yourself and do that. Keep breathing slowly. Okay, I almost hate to break this, but I want to talk to you just for a minute. You can open your eyes now. Can you feel, I don't know if you can, but can you feel an atmosphere around you? Can you feel intensity or something? I don't know. Everybody's going to call it something different. Maybe you just feel peace, or maybe you feel oxygen asphyxiation. I don't know, because you're breathing deeply. Whatever it is, when you can calm yourself and get out of your head. When you've heard me train on this in the past and you're really willing to accept it, is when I call it the difference between your right brain and your left brain. And you grab onto it and you're like, yeah, I understand that, Lori. And that's because your left brain comes in with its dukes up, ready to beat you up. It comes in and remembers all the times that you failed. It reminds you of every time you were rejected when you tried something new. It reminds you, remember what happened when you tried to do something creative that one time and you did it a little different than everyone else and you got laughed at? Anytime a conversation reels through your head and it sounds like that, that's not your heart talking to you. That's your left brain. It's logic. And its purpose, its only purpose, is to protect you, to keep you, it's to keep you from walking out in the street and stuff like that. It's to keep you from touching a hot oven. That's its purpose. When it goes past its boundaries, it can get you into a space that you're living in fear and you're never willing to attempt something new for fear of the unknown. What might happen, what could possibly happen, what has happened to you in the past. Remember, remind, regret. Remember, remind, regret. Don't let that happen again. your heart talks to you in a very different way. You remember when we were kids and if you've studied for a test and they'll say you're looking at the true and false or the ABCD multiple choice, and they say go with your first instinct because that's usually the right answer. Well, that's your heart. Your heart knows the right answer. I'm not talking about on a test, but I'm talking about when you're in that space and you're in that zone. If you're trying to make a decision and you have a conversation going through your head that reminds you of your past, if it sounds like dialogue, if you want an answer and you're looking for an answer and your answer sounds like dialogue, that's your head. If your answer sounds like yes, that's your heart. If your answer sounds like do it, that's your heart. Now, I'm not saying that you always let your heart win, because you very likely may let your head talk your heart out of the yes. In this business, there are so many opportunities for us to just go, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do something crazy. I'm just going to call that person that scares the bejesus out of me. I'm just going to walk up to a person and hand them my business card. I'm just going to approach someone who's given me no inkling whatsoever that they're interested in this Plexus business. And here's what I can think to myself. What if she's in the supermarket today? She scares me, but I sort of know her. She scares me because she seems to have her life all together. What if her name was Celeste Wynn and you were too scared to walk up to her, okay? You see what I'm saying? Like, I can tell you that for sure that Jen Hawkins would say, oh my God, walk up to her. You have to say something to her. Jen Hawkins is a rock star in and of herself, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, yes, you have to say something to them, because the fact is, you can walk through your entire life letting your left brain talk you out of miracles. You can let logic trump your faith. And the exercise that I took you through tonight, the first was the video to help you recognize the feeling that I'm trying to get, the space I'm trying to get you in. And then after that, I wanted to show you just a technique, and I'll type out the technique in case you're like, I don't remember what she did. I think she touched her heart. No, she touched her forehead. I don't remember. I'll try to type it out for you so that you can remember, so that you can like screen capture it and put it in your phone. And every time you need to make a wise decision that's based in your heart always knows the answer, by the way. The person who taught me this, he said he was out of the country when the World Trade Center, the first plane flew into the World Trade Center. And he said he desperately wanted to get back home to his family, and hardly any planes were landing or taking off. And he said the first opening that came, that he was able to get out of the country he was in and home to his family, he showed up at the airport and there were like 8 people ready to board the plane, a huge, huge plane. And he said he was like, oh my gosh, that's a scary sign. Like, nobody's ready to fly yet. So he says to the lady at the counter, he says, is this the flight to whatever, fill in the blank? And she said, yes. And he says, when does it board? And she says, well, at 5:30, if you want to. And he said, I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, he said, oh my gosh, yes, I want to see my family. I want to get home. I feel lost without them. Why did she say that? What does she know? What do all the people know that didn't show up? And do you realize that what I'm doing right there, that's dialogue. That's all dialogue. What if? Oh my goodness. What if? What do these people know that I don't know? He said he went across the room, got himself in his zone, got himself inside his heart, and he asked his heart, because his heart knows the answer. And he said, I was like, is it safe to fly today? Do I need to be reminding myself on logic, or is it okay to go home today? And he said immediately he knew. He's like, I felt peace. I was settled in. I felt peace, and I was ready. He said, I went back up there and I said, we're going to be fine. This plane needs to take off at 6:00. And the lady was like, well, okay then, sir, get on there. He said, so like 9 people flew home that day. And I was just thinking, not very often are we put in a situation that's that, whatever. But it's good to know that you can begin, the longer you practice this, you can begin to discern the difference between when your head is talking to you and when your heart. Or if you are more comfortable with saying when your left brain is talking to you or your right brain. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in case you hadn't figured it out, your right brain, your heart, that's your spirit. And your spirit knew you before you were born. The spirit's connected to the Holy Spirit. And that's why it's safe to ask the spirit inside you. That's why it's a good space to offer up a prayer. That's why it's a good space to do a positive affirmation. So if I haven't adequately freaked you all out yet, let's say a little prayer. Hang on a second. Before we say a prayer, just a second. I'm going to look at the questions. Oh, no, we don't have any really questions. Okay. Before we say a prayer, I want to do a mini interview. I don't see Aaron and Jennifer anymore. Are you guys still on here? Surely.
Yeah, I can see them.
Oh, you can? Okay, they need to unmute themselves. Oh. I can see you, Aaron. There.
Yeah, there she is.
Are you both there?
Yeah, hang on. I had to plug in my phone.
Okay.
And we were doing a trick like you were just talking about. Can I tell you really quick?
Okay.
No.
I'm just joking. Tell us.
Oh, okay. So one of my friends taught it to me, and I tried it with our products one time, and he is not a believer, but he does supplements. So you hold it in your hand and you ask your heart, just like you were saying, or you just ask whatever. Like you say, is this product good for me? Or is this whatever good for me? And I was just holding up avocado oil, and I showed Jen, that was what was on the counter in my house or my old house. And I leaned forward. And then I picked up this fiber therapy crap that the girl that lives here now, and I said, is this good for me? And I almost fell backwards, and she's like, okay, whatever. So then she tried it with something else, and it was something that was not good for her. And I knew that, she knew that, and she started to fall backwards even before she got all the way out of her mouth. You guys should try that sometime.
I have a question. Why are you doing demonstrations in the middle of my Zoom call?
Well, because your little heart thing made me think of that, and I had to show her because I have a squirrel that runs around in my head like you do.
Yeah, I will inform you right now that even the stuff I taught you tonight doesn't get rid of the squirrel. I've got the squirrel major still going on, even though you practice it for a while. So welcome to always having that squirrel. You're welcome. So, okay, now what I want to know from you guys is, you were in Oklahoma, but now you're in Pennsylvania. Okay, Jen, would you like to tell us where you actually live?
In Florida.
In Florida?
Yes.
Were you vacationing in Pennsylvania?
No.
Well, I guess if you call it a vacation.
No, I'm saying, were you just already there?
She flew into
Charlotte,
yeah. So she booked her ticket 4 weeks ago. Is this what you want me to tell?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So she booked her ticket, not even 4 weeks ago. We had planned her doing this with me November 7th. And then the deal happened with my car and got hit by a deer.
And then Jesse got hurt.
Oh, yeah, and then Jessie got hurt, so it worked out that she planned on not coming. And so she changed her plane ticket that day. It was probably when was it? November 2nd, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, she got her plane ticket November 2nd. Well, Little Miss Procrastination right here waited until November 23rd to buy her ticket to fly home today. And I couldn't get Southwest anymore, which is what I was going to fly into, which would be Baltimore and then to Rochester. And so that wasn't available. So I just put in anything on Orbitz or something and was like, please just get me there on around the same time frame as her getting into Rochester, because I had somebody lined up to pick this up. And so lo and behold, I get flown from the city. I can't call it OKC, the city, to that's what Missy tells me. You can't call it OKC, you have to call it the city. So from Oklahoma City to Charlotte, we figured that out like 2 days ago that we're both flying into Charlotte and we'll be riding home or back here on the plane to Rochester together, you know, like on the same flight. And then we're getting ready to board the plane, look at our boarding pass. And she said, I said, what are you? She's like 21D or something. What were you, D? Yeah, she was D. And I was like, no way. Except I didn't say that. I'm still a cusser. I'm sorry, Jesus, but I'm still a cusser. Anyways, so I was 21E. It was the last ticket. It said 1 ticket left. It was one of those deals. Unless they're just like playing with you so you like hurry up and buy. But anyways, it was the last ticket. It was right next to her. And it was bought like, it's just too funny. And so we're going to be Thelma and Louise tomorrow and drive my car back to Oklahoma.
Right. So her car was under the weather. She was supposed to bring it when she came from Pennsylvania.
A deer mauled it and broke it.
Right. And Jen was going to actually fly out there and ride with her to Oklahoma just to keep her company then. And she's actually going to do that. And they've been lifelong friends for, 2 years? They met through Plexus.
Yeah.
They met because they're butterflies. Anyway, I just think it's a really cool story. We're following the Erin saga as it unfolds. Since Erin's the big girl who's moved away, she's moved away from home and she's doing big girl things, we're all like, okay, we're going to all follow Erin's saga. So as it unfolds, I'll keep you guys up to date.
I'm so interested because I'm working at a coffee shop.
Do what?
I said, I'm glad you guys are all so interested. I just work at a coffee shop.
Working at a coffee shop. Yeah, there's a lot more to that story too. So anyway, we'll have to share that story sometime too.
We'll leave
Friends lasted for how many seasons?
What did?
Friends lasted for how many seasons?
Yeah, I don't know.
Around a coffee shop?
Around the coffee shop, that's right. Okay, you guys, so let's pray. So Lord, we come to you tonight with happy hearts, grateful hearts, blessed by friendships, blessed by, I don't know, I just have such a loving feeling with all you guys. I know that there are those of you out there that are experiencing change, and there are those of you out there that are going through times that feel regretful. But I lift those things up. Actually, I lay them at his feet. He is everything. And he created us. And he did not create us so that we would walk around lost and not knowing what to do. He created us to lean on him. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the knowledge of that. Lord, this time of year can be so bittersweet for people. Anybody who has a sorrowful heart or a grieving heart, be so close to them, comfort them, give them peace, and let them feel your love all around them. Lord, I lift up our businesses, each individual business. We've seen so much incredible, exciting, cool stuff go on in the last week or so. Just let those things breathe fresh air into our lungs when we see other people prospering. We see their businesses growing. Lord, show us that you're just breathing new life into all of us. Allow us all to claim those things for our businesses. Yes, Lord, thank you. Thank you for those that we have, that you have given us in our lives to love on every single day, our families and our friends. So grateful to be able to, while we work through this journey on earth in this life, that you've given us people that are meaningful to our hearts. People who share memories with us, I just pray that we reflect on those things every single day, that we reflect on the blessings that we have in our lives. Lord, I pray that you just breathe life into our dreams and show us that it's a safe place, that you are a safe place to tell our dreams, to share our dreams with you. You created us, you know our dreams. Show us how you can breathe life, just like you breathe life into our lungs. Just like you gave us a calling even before we were born, Lord. Show us our calling and breathe amazing, creative air into us. So much so that we can feel it. Like when we wake up in the mornings and our feet hit the ground, we feel your presence. We feel the Holy Spirit. Yes. We feel your presence all around us. And even when we stretch our arms out, we feel you all around us, Lord, guiding us every single step. And we wake up and we say, Lord, what are we going to do today? What kind of journey do you have for us today? Point us down the right path, Lord. Show us how to use our hearts. You gave us our hearts. You gave us the Spirit that lives inside us for the purpose of a compass. Guide us back out of our heads and back into our hearts. Show us not to be afraid, to just dream and live so boldly. Do you know how many people, just thinking about this, I've been thinking about how many people walk around in fear, and that one of us, we may not think we're that we're anything special, but one of us doing something brave gives them permission to be brave too. What a cool thing. I'm overwhelmed thinking about that. I thank you for that. That we literally rub off on each other. We rub inspiration like we're rubbing elbows, one to the other. I pray that this team feels that they can feel the inspiration. It's so thick in the air. And I pray that they are so courageous that they will jump out there and grab onto it when they feel it. We thank you that we know every single gift is from you and that you work everything out. Even the heartaches and the disappointments, even the things that feel like grief, even the things that feel just terrible. In the end, you work them out for the good. If there's anybody on this call tonight that's missing out on what we're talking about, I just pray, Lord, that you just speak to their hearts tonight in such a clear, distinct way that they know it is you. They know that you are their creator and that they can reach out to one of us and that we will pray with them. If they are not a believer, that we will pray a prayer with them so that they can be filled with your Spirit, Lord. We lift all this up to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Look at us go, like 1 hour right on the dot. I planned it that way. Actually, I had no idea what time it was. Actually, when I first looked down at it, I thought, oh my gosh, has it been 2 hours? But it's 9:30, so we're all good. So, okay. What all did I promise you? I promised to type out the thing about out of your head and into your heart. I'll type that out for you. If you want me to share the little Elfie Woodland video on the butterfly page, in case you need to practice where your heart is, I can share that for you too. We're going to do the Elf on the Shelf, or is it okay if I continue to post the 12 Days of Christmas in that same thread? Are you guys able to find, or do I need to post it at the, I'm afraid it'll get lost in everything else if I, okay. You'll have to look down through, like in the morning, I'll post what day 3 is, and you'll have to kind of look down through and be like, okay, where's day 3? What you're supposed to post about. if you're doing creativity and you've got a little pooping elf with hair growing fast and fast growing nails and an elf with a healthy colon and all kinds of interesting stuff like that, or one that's like breathing pixie dust, then you don't have to follow along if we're doing it doing the other way. But anyway, I just thought it would make it fun for some of us. If you, like I said, I think the name brand of that, I'm trying to be careful because I don't know who all's listening, but I think the name brand of that is like $30. But like I said, the cute one that I posted, which I actually think is just as cute, if not cuter, you can get it at, I got mine for $5 I have 2 or 3 of them. One that's wearing red and white stripe like a candy cane, and then one that's wearing a pink apron. I think that one was a little bit more, like $7 or something like that, because it was half off at Hobby Lobby. So anyway, you can get a boy and a girl if you want. You can do it however you choose. I'm going to check the chat one more time. Okay, they had trouble finding it today. Oh, and somebody said, okay, I'm fixing to close out this chat. So the person who said to me privately that they're not in the butterfly page, message me and I will get you in there, okay? Private message me on Facebook. Hope you're still on here. I'm fixing to close out the chat, or I would just say that back to you. So, okay, you guys have a great night. Love you. Let's make this December something awesome and important. I want to congratulate all the rank advancements. You guys know how excited I am about all that. It's not all about the business, but sometimes it's awesome about the business. So I'm real excited about that. You can share people are asking if you're supposed to share your posts in the thread. You can, because I think it's inspiring to. It's not required. I just want people participating. So don't tag me unless it's a post about me. Don't tag me. I get tagged in like 60 things a day, and I only like accept the ones of people that I know, and then sometimes I don't even get through all of them to accept the ones of people I know. But don't tag me in these everyday posts, because then I'll be overwhelmed if all of y'all are tagging me. I believe you. I trust. If you're going to do it, do it. Do it every day. We're going to go tomorrow. Those of you that are goofy enough to still be hanging around since I'm just talking, it's open mic night. So tomorrow we're headed to go see Peter Pan 360, which is in Dallas. There is this traveling company that is in Dallas right now that comes in and puts up sort of like what I can best describe as a high-tech circus tent. And it's way more high tech. It's sort of like a cross between a circus tent and what do they call them, like a planetarium, where you can go sit inside one of those things and it projects stars everywhere and the moon and shooting stars and stuff. Okay, well, they set this up in a town, and then so it's 360. The crowd is circular like a circus tent, but then they do a musical, but they're not on stage. They're out in the center, acting out Peter Pan. And then they project like the London sky all over the tent. It's everywhere, just like they do in a planetarium. And they project, every time Peter Pan is flying, they're projecting things all around. And the people are actually suspended, of course. They're floating. They're not on ropes. Let's all be real about this. We know that they're floating. Flying. My daughter's favorite book, when we went to last year's Leaders Retreat, and it was in Disney, I felt bad for going without my daughter, but I messaged her and I was like, I'm at Disney. She said, what? I said, well, just tell me if I'm only going to go get you one thing, what do I get you? And she's like, something from Peter Pan. So anyway, we've had a minor meltdown with my daughter recently. She got grounded over something, and she'd kill me for saying that. But anyway, we had a real heart to heart, and I finally was like, do you want me to take you see Peter Pan? She's like, yes. So that's what we're going to go do this tomorrow and the next day. So, okay. Good night, you guys. Toodaloo.
Thanks, Lori. It was good.
Hey, Deborah.
I'm in bed. It was good. Thank you for the other day. It really helped. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
You can do it. I know you can.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, good night.
You have fun.
Thanks.